Hello, everyone. So I've been away for a bit. I got kind of hit by the bad guys. Yeah, and I didn't want to say anything I regret, which is odd because I don't usually care about what I say. So anyway, I ended up really tired. I was going to post this yesterday. I couldn't. Like, oh my God, I just exhausted. So yeah, I have some energy tonight. I had a cup of coffee. So, and it's actually good that I waited because himself is here with us tonight. For those who can see, he's like for those who can see him. Yes, he's right here as always on the right. Like he's like Jesus. He's like with the religion there. Oh my God. So yeah, I guess some people notice that the bad guys come in on the left, and the guys come in on the right. And I just noticed everybody always seems to come in on the right. It was odd. I don't think it's necessarily, a hard and fast rule, but just something, I guess, to kind of think about because it was odd. Anyway, so I asked him like I would have liked to go live, but I don't know how to bring up some of the videos I have on live. I should fool around with that and see if I can get it to work a little better than we have right now. So he's fooling around. So, like, somebody's in a good mood tonight. I don't know why. I asked him like, what do we want to start with? So I thought we'd start with. So bring up some of the screen share. I got notes here too, so I don't forget. Because sometimes you're not very helpful when it comes to, yeah, I know, doing this. So and God, some people can see you. It's like God. All right. Anyway, the first one I'm gonna pull up here, get this thing to stupid to work. We can pull up. So some folks have been noticing advanced settings. Here we go. Share the screen. There it is. And we have this here actually, fog. So this was from my window this morning, looking over the property, and well, the thing is, we tend to have fog here in New England when there's been some snow on the ground. So we had a light covering of snow. You can't see it now, but there was a light covering of snow. So the ground was cold. So we do get these kinds of fogs in the winter, especially over water and that kind of thing. But we had fog here this morning. So many folks have across the world have noticed that there's some odd types of fog. We actually have the fog again tonight. I mean, I don't know, one way or the other. But anyway, it's worth, I guess, checking out and wondering what's going on because there's so many weird things going on. But I'm going to put a link below to, Linda and Zoe. They covered this fog story, Stephen King, uh, yesterday actually, and I'll put a link below to their interesting expose on what could possibly be happening with this fog. So yeah, here's just a video from my house this morning. So cool. Fog. There it is. You know. This. Caught it before it went on. I usually kind of link all my pictures together in a series like that. That way there I can pull them up without having to go futzing through all the it's like God. Um, so yeah, I'm glad Eka's here because we were talking about this concept of how DNA is sort of plastic and moldable, and why it's so important that humans begin to rethink the way they reproduce because it's not being done necessarily for everybody, but I mean generally it's not being done in a way that's going to be assisting in the not only the survival, but I think we're going to kind of fix a little bit of that. But I mean the sort of the I don't know how do you want to describe this? How would you describe like how would you describe? He's a bucket. He says the viability. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, English isn't his first language, but it's mine. Well, here anyway. God knows. Anyway, yes, the vibe. Thank you. The viability. That's like, um. So anyway, here's this guy. I just found this as a short. I mean, and I said, "Oh my God, this is what we were talking about." So I'm just gonna play this for a second. Maybe you want to add something while we're watching. And can you believe this? This freaking, deep state idiots like we can't talk to, or have in person, our family because they weren't born on this planet. because we'd all get killed by the jerks. And it's just insane. I have to like almost talk to the air here. He's not even, he's actually here. I can see him. But it's like, it's just, oh my God. I mean, it's a freaking dog and pony show.
Needed another reason to be selective with your male partners, and this is it. A man can permanently alter the DNA of a woman who mothers his child. It's called fetal microchimerism, and it's the principle that a fetus's cells can transfer to a mother during a pregnancy and even stay with her for decades. These cells are 50% paternal DNA, and they can actually cause what we call epigenetic changes to the mother's DNA depending on what the cell's content is. What's even crazy is if you have an older sibling, then their cells would have been transferred to the mother, which would then be transferred to you during your involuntary incarceration as a cute little devil. Yes, this is what a real MRI of a fetus in the womb looks like. Almost as a thank you to the mother, those fetal cells then get dispersed throughout her body and can protect against some cancers, but have the catch of slightly increasing the risk of some autoimmune conditions. But it's nice to know that even if a family member's gone, then a real part of them lives with us.
Sorry for this. Yeah, so a little bit of vindication there for some off-planet information concerning, even though you prefer botany as botany, just stuff that we already know from our living on era that is now going to be shared. Well, it's actually being shared now, but will be shared more so when open contact happens. I have another video. So we have some great UFO capture out of Fort Worth, Texas. Joanna was able to find this, or actually it's her friend, but we're sharing it here. She said, yeah, share it. So let's pull up this one. Here we go. Ta-da. Okay. There we go. So yeah, this is Fort Worth, Texas. These lights were captured by someone. This is one of someone Joanna knows. Joanna is one of our family here, as you all are our family here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So let's play this as a photo, a still photo. I kind of blew it up a little bit. You can see it. So there's the Fort Worth, Texas. Okay. Comes into oops, go back to this. Let me go back here. But next, I always have everything all loaded up, but okay. Yeah, so you could see it flashing. I'll go back and play that. And that's a close-up of it, and then you can see them. They're flashing there. It's quite a few ships there, actually. All right. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. At least 7 craft there. Over the skies in Fort Worth, Texas. Is there anything that the peanut gallery would like to add on these crafts? Ooh, I know. I asked him earlier, just want to say it. He says they're unmanned. You want to say what they are? He said they're not drones. It's like, yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So cool capture there. Super awesome. Yeah, definitely, guys, if you don't have your own channel and you want to share some video, definitely do that. We'll air them here. So you can send them to my Facebook contact. Yeah. Cool. So the other video, again, going back to what we were talking about, or what you were talking about, actually, when it comes to how to properly procreate, which is, important. I don't think people on this planet really, well, it's not people on this planet's fault. It was part of the programming and part of the deconstruction of the race that lives here on this planet. And I guess the sciencey people on this planet call it epigenetics. We don't call it epigenetic, no. Yeah, no. So anyway, I'm going to show a video that, again, vindicates what Eeka was explaining before. So that's not next one. Comes into play. Epigenetic marks are chemical markers that act on the structure. So this is from BBC, which is, I think, great to show that someone like BBC, who we know is kind of fishy. Well, they're all of your not just ratting out BBC, but any of your major media corporations are a little bit funky. So, yeah, they're talking about the chemical markers in DNA. So I'll let her.
To give it instructions to compress or decompress the DNA. If they compress it, the cell cannot access the information and the gene is turned off. Epigenetic marks that decompress the DNA allow the cell to read the gene and turn it on. This process starts as soon as the first cells of the human embryo begin to divide. That is why it is so important for the baby what its mother eats, her emotional and physical state.
So she just mentioned there, which is something you don't normally hear, but the mother's emotional state. And yeah, that gets, yes, he says it, then you saying it, it does it like he says exactly what she was just saying, that it does turn on and sort of, like he says, imprint. There's like a marker that happens. And of course, as we know, for life on this planet, for most of us who've grown up here and live here, it's not very pleasant generally. I mean, there's a lot of trauma. There's just not an easy. That's done on purpose, obviously, because if you can traumatize the parents, which is probably almost everybody, at least at some point in their lives, significant trauma, that will then, yeah, he says that then codes into the DNA of the child, which yeah, that was done on purpose, in order to sort of degenerate the race that's here. So
The medicines and vitamins she takes. All that information can be transmitted in the form of chemical signals to the baby through the blood. If the mother's diet during pregnancy is poor, the baby could be more prone to obesity.
well, I mean, the mother's diet is poor. Obviously, we're all being, how can we on YouTube here? So you have to be careful how we say this. Yeah, so no one on this planet actually has access to decent, clean, unadulterated, chemical-free, garbage-free food, and everyone on this planet is subject to nutritional deficiencies on purpose. You were saying, right? It's like, yeah, it's almost impossible. Yeah, exactly. It's almost impossible to recreate, let's say, right, reproduction as it would be done on our planet, on Era. It's impossible to recreate that here on Earth because, yeah, we're all, how should we, yeah, poisoned and given stuff into our bodies that we shouldn't have there, in our water supply and in a lot of things that, right? So it's a deliberate, let's see, how not to get your channel taken down on YouTube. It's a deliberate, I don't even know how to say this without making it sound like we might put us in danger, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah.
Since its epigenome has programmed it to store more calories every time it eats. This phenomenon has been tested in several
So she was talking. So here she's talking about things, something like obesity, which has become insane on this planet. So, yeah, we don't have obesity. We just don't. Because I was talking. There are a couple of different reasons why she mentions here. Like again, yeah, I mean, it's definitely imprinted onto the child. I actually know why they want a lot of us to be obese. It's like that's not an accident. Okay, that's not an accident. Yeah. No, you gotta watch how we say this. It's like, yeah. Yeah, the rampant, insane rise of obesity and weight issues that you see now that you didn't see before. Yeah, they're actually genetic and they want this to happen. Because it's not natural. Okay, I always got this. I like, how can we talk about obesity without like, yeah. Okay, let's just say it was meant to happen. It was yeah, genetically through a lot of outside influence in the food, the water, the, stuff that people put in their bodies. That's all part of the obesity plan. So yeah, when people say they're having, you talk to a lot of people like I've never, I've always been a stick, so I'm a green bean. I've always been really, really thin. But for people who do carry extra weight and they may eat correctly, I mean, you can't eat correct. I'll be honest with you, you can't eat correctly on this planet. Everything is, you know, right? Yeah. But let's just say those people who obviously don't eat things that are poisonous, you know what that is. I'm not going to say most of the grocery store, avoid all that those aisles, which is like again, most of the grocery store is made up of yeah things, things. So yeah, it is genetic, but it's not like a natural sort of genetic thing. It's been done on purpose. So
Studies with women who went through periods of prolonged famine during wars, for example. But the role of the father is also important because he can transmit some of his epigenetic marks to his children. For example, if a father has been smoking heavily since adolescence, this may result in a shorter life expectancy for his children and even for his grandchildren. The epigenome acts on our body throughout our lives, not just in the embryonic phase. As in the example of the twins, our habits, our diet, our experiences, and the environment in which we live can turn our genes on or off.
so yeah, the pairing of the male and the female is the beginning of reproduction. That has to be done properly. Then the actual way the child is conceived has to be done with intent so that the I'm just going to use the word frequency here, that the frequency of the parents when the child is to be conceived has to be with a deliberate understanding and intent of a very high love implosion, basically, that will then imprint itself onto the child before the child is actually born during the conception process, which is super important anyway. Sadly, on this planet, you do see a lack of that. Certainly, I don't think really anybody truly understands. There's quite a bit of a difference between like it's just like the whole relationship thing on this planet is just so strange to me. I don't understand any of it. Um, there's a weird like passion lust kind of thing. That's not love. There's a huge gulf between conceiving a child with the direct intention of manifesting love versus just like, an appetite, I think. Um, on this planet, it seems to be more of like a reflection of a natural appetite versus an understanding of the harnessing of love. Um, yeah. Anyway, when Eka and I were talking about our son, which we haven't had yet, but which we've had, understanding there's a multiverse. So we've both already met our son. I've talked to him. I can talk to him anytime I want. So he actually isn't born yet, but he's born yet at the same time. As you all know what I'm talking about. Past, present, future, the now, all that's in the now. So yeah. So our son, um, will be born in the future. He's going to be half human. Terran. I mean, obviously he's going to be it's like we're obviously going to be human, but he's going to be half Terran and then half Arahel Pleiadian. So he's going to be a pilot. He can't wait to be a pilot. And yeah, he's cute. So other people have met him as well. Even though he's not here yet, he's here at the same time. So one of the things I was talking to Eka about, because I'm kind of iffy about carrying a baby. That's not my thing. That's not no. Um, I was like, there's newer, improved ways of, they're not improved though. There's new ways which you can have a baby because we on Arrow, you don't have to actually do it the old-fashioned way. You can, raise them in incubator type things. So he's like, no, you can't. We don't. And I know the answer to the questions. We were having this in the conversations, but it's not generally done on our planet or and I think yeah, I mean Pleiadians in general, we generally we do it the old-fashioned way. There's a reason why we do it the old-fashioned way because it's much, much better. And it's goes back to that what they call here epigenetics. You're imprinting onto the child, the love vibrations. So while we were having that conversation, and many times after, when I was thinking about, this baby, I kept hearing, it's the word made flesh. It's the word made flesh. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. So oftentimes it wasn't Eeka who said that, and I wasn't sure who said it, but usually it's the nine that comes in, and when I'm not quite sure who says these things. And I asked them, like, well, what do you mean by that? And they're saying, well, that DNA is the word. It's the encoding. It's a message. So the act of conception in its proper state, which is a physical manifestation of a union, a uniting of two energies. So you get almost this massive implosion of energetic power between, because it's negentropic, between two separate yet connected energies that creates that spin, the implosion that then encodes the word, the DNA. So it is the energetic expression of love then made flesh. So this is from the Christian Bible, where I heard that, I was like, that's where it came from for me anyway. We don't have Christianity on our planet. We don't have any religions like that. So in this religion here, and of course our viewers all understand that a lot of these ancient texts are mythologies that are actually depicting through flowery language and sometimes misunderstanding of technology, extraterrestrial encounters on Earth. So this is from John 1:14, and the word was made flesh. So that is what the nine told me about proper conception of a child. So that was kind of neat. So that's that. So just a vindication of what himself was talking about in that earlier podcast that we did together. So anyway, here is an orange. I mean, over Christmas, actually it was Christmas morning. It was, we're gonna talk about telepathy. Yeah, we're gonna talk about. So, I actually didn't know you were, well, I don't know why I didn't know you weren't listening in on a lot of this stuff. I don't remember did I tell you about the orange and my grandmother? Or you just overheard it? So my grandmother, you're getting past, obviously. When she was growing up, way, way back in the day, a special gift for children was to get an orange because oranges were unique at that time. Citrus fruit was kind of a special treat. So she had mentioned that, we would get an orange. So Christmas morning, I wake up to the smell of an orange and I see a man's hand like peeling off to get that spray. When you first peel an orange, you get that burst of orange smell. So I woke up to that and then the image of the orange being peeled. And I'm like, that's so sweet. He did that. It's so sweet. Like, oh my God, that's my mom. So he gave me an orange. And not just gave me. So let's talk about that now. How telepathy works and how the astral works. So I can smell what he can smell, and he can smell what I can smell. We can taste and we can see, we can feel. Like I can feel him. I can feel his body. He can feel mine. I know. Oh yeah, I mean, he likes women. He like, you like those bra commercials. I say. So you feel what they feel, um, deliberately. So you can, I can like, I had Thai the other day. So I'm like, do you like this? And he likes it, because he can taste what I'm eating and I can taste what he's eating. Like the morning of the stupid pizza thing, the pizza, we have our own pizza gate here. He had the bad pizza. Like, well, why would you take a big bite out of a pizza before you knew you were going to like it or not like it? Anyway, that was the morning that he wakes me up by shoving a whole like piece of pizza in my face. You don't like chunks of tomato. All right. You like peaches. Like, so yeah, what he did was by peel, it's why the reason he peeled the orange was that so he could smell it and then I would smell it. So he would send me the smell. Yeah, I can see what he sees. He can see what I see. We can taste things that, we can smell things, so that's how telepathy works. I mean, you can have a meal upstairs, right? If you're in the astral or you're bilocated onto a ship and you're eating something on another planet, you can taste that, or feel that in your body. So yes, for some people who have experienced off-planet romance, that is very real for those who've experienced it. It's very, yeah. I mean, you will feel stuff in your body for sure. Um, obviously because your astral is, your body is run by your consciousness. So you can't have a body without a consciousness, and that's how it works. So cool beans for those who are currently used to the telepathic astral experience and for those who are new to it. So to be aware of different sensations because you might be getting smells, right? You might be getting sensations on your body. Like I can feel him when he touches me, right? He can feel it when I touch him. So he's doing that. I know those who are watching, like he's stopped doing that. He's whacking me. So it's like, anyway. You may be getting these things. You don't know what and that's what that is. So you're actually getting, people say, well, I'm not getting any experiences. You probably are getting them. You just don't realize what they are. So telepathy, that's how that works. Or orange. The next thing I have rolling up. So Semyasi, we're going to be having a fine. I mean, it's just been nuts. Like I like, partially we don't really know what we want to talk about. This is what she, well, she wanted to say hi, and she's a little busy tonight. I guess she just likes, she's like, "So I tell everybody hi." She's so cute. She's like always like, but she want to tell everybody hi. And I want to get you have that experience of not that there's such thing as a Pleiadian female. I mean, we're all unique. We're not a hive. We're like us like we're like fly shit. Like everywhere you go is a freaking a hell. It's like. So for those of you who are looking forward to meeting and maybe having a special, connection to Pleiadian and a Hell Pleiadian, you'll probably have your opportunities because there's a hell of a lot of them. I don't, I almost feel bad for the other races and species. They must be like, not them again. Oh my God, where are they? Jeez. It's like what we must be like amoeba. We just kind of divide. There's got to be like billions of them. I mean, literally, it's like they're everywhere. It's like. But anyway, you'll have the opportunity to definitely connect. So why wait? Connect now. There's plenty of them, and it may not be. It doesn't have to be. I mean, that's just because we're a hell. But you can connect with any extraterrestrial races that you'd like to connect with, and that you have your family with. And for those who don't have, they're not. I mean, it's not. It's like you can be many different things. Um, you might, like I said, you might be elemental, you might be part of the angelic or higher level frequencies and stuff like that. But if you want it, that doesn't, you mean telepathy, if you got a brain, you can do it. So if you'd like to, try talking to, maybe you used to, we have our guests that come on here, they're used to talking to Bigfoots or elementals and whatever. Yeah, try reaching out to some extraterrestrials, or inner earth beings as well. A lot of people might have a connection to inner earth. So it's worth it. Give it a go. So yes, Miyasi's looking forward. It's going to be rock and roll. I tell you, that is going to be freaking. This is going to be rock and roll. It's Miyasi. She didn't grow up with us, but we ended up becoming friends. I can't remember yet. I gotta go back in and find out when we became friends. But I feel like we didn't meet till we were adults. But yeah, looking forward to having her come on. I think we're gonna do like a chick talk, ladies talk. So that'll be fun. Anyway, so that's coming in the new year. So I guess I haven't got much else to say at this point, other than we want to mention something from Cameo, right? From Cameo. So we were chatting, like we just have these stupid we don't talk about anything interesting, really. Um, oh, is the tuna? Remember the tuna? So I had this like finance meeting was last year, and I was just reflecting on the raw tuna, because so many people like to eat raw tuna, and it's like you and they had these hors d'oeuvres there at the meeting that were like had the raw tuna on top. So I want to just try that just to see what people like, what it's like, like So anyway, it didn't look at. I mean, I really just because I had to do this before I died, kind of thing. So it was absolutely disgusting. I, it was, I mean, it is raw fish. It was raw. I couldn't even like, I had like, oh my God. So Camiel was listening. He was telepathing while I was explaining, while I was talking to Eeka about this raw fish thing. I'm like, you think that pizza was bad? This is a whole nother level of gross. And Camiel was like, "Oh, I just shove it in my mouth." I'm like, "No, you don't know what raw tuna is." He doesn't. He doesn't speak English, I mean, we don't speak English on Era. So he doesn't. Camiel still doesn't speak English. And he doesn't understand a lot of he tries, like he's trying to, like he wants to, there's that cool factor, he wants to know. So he thought he would enjoy that, and he just, I just, no, you would regret that. And then I made a joke. Can you imagine him with hot peppers? Because we were talking about Eka and I were talking about the Thai food, because I don't like super spicy, but I don't mind a little spice, but not where like you can't even taste anything, but you have your head blow off. Um, like he doesn't mind mild. I'm like, yeah, you're not probably would probably have the same kind of taste on hot peppers. But I say, can you imagine, Camiel with like a ghost pepper or something, and I'm like, oh my God, he wouldn't know, and he'd be shoving that in his face. And he's like, and Ika has a really weird sense of humor. And he's like, don't you ever, I said, don't you ever give him a hot pepper like that. And you're gonna, oh my God. Because he would have no, how you bite into a hot pepper and it's like, there's always that little lag time between having your head blow off and the first, I mean, he doesn't know what hot pepper is. Please do. I was like, don't feed Camiel anything. Don't feed him. Don't feed. And the other night I went back home again, and it was there's this caves that kind of overlooks the fjord and the lake, and I just like to sit there, and well, we were laying there and looking at the sky, and it was nighttime, and it was just, we have this gorgeous, like, it's a dark purple black sky. It's just the best. I try to get the AI to do it, they don't do it right, and but you can just imagine this dark purple sky, just so luxurious, and all the stars and the moons, and it's just, oh my God. And we're just, and Camiel was there, and we were just cuddling each other, and like he's so sweet, and we're just relaxing, and enjoying that sky. So yeah, super cool. Definitely reach out to Camiel when you're trying to telepath, because he loves talking to people, certainly people on Earth, and one day he'll be here to experience. I will swap. He can swap me. Like, yeah. So before we run, right, there's that one thing I want to reiterate, that you want to reiterate about the drones. So some friends of mine were down by the Cape, and they got buzzed by some of these drones that certainly weren't extraterrestrial. They were definitely Earth-made drones. And yeah, Eka just wants you to know to be careful about yes, sure, we're all excited for sure, to see the ships, right, and that kind of thing, and they are real. Some of those ships, like the one in that film I showed you, those are real ships, craft, and some of them are ours, are not, well, ours upstairs, the real stuff, and some of them are Earth-made, military, reverse engineered from the crashes and stuff like that. But some of them are the bad guys, and you can't tell, right? But you don't want to take a cheese. He's what he wants you guys to know. is just to be careful out there. You can't be 100% certain what's flying overhead. And it's really challenging to keep everybody safe from the bad guys as we try to take down the bad guys. You know who they are. But the bad guys still have access to a lot of this technology, even though it's all being taken down piece by piece. So for now, it's not 100% safe to put yourself in positions where you can come in contact with some of that dark technology, you know, black budget technology. They're still flying that stuff. So he just says, be careful. And definitely, he says, don't trust anything that looks like it was made here. Okay. If you for certain know, because you can sense that the craft that you're seeing are off-planet craft, that's one thing. But he says, just be aware if you suspect, because if you see something like, I'll tell him, yeah. So if you see something like it has flashing lights that look like almost what an airplane would do, you know, it's following sort of the rules that you would have here flying, plane or something like that. That's a red flag, just to be careful. That's not extraterrestrial. Now I've actually seen that. I have seen extraterrestrial craft semi-mimic the flash of an airplane. They usually just flash a white light, like a clear white light. They can flash color, but it wouldn't be flashing in the same manner. Like I have seen them do this. Usually when there's a plane flying by, we were interacting with some craft, and one of the craft tried to like mimic a plane briefly, and that's the key thing. So keep that in mind. But he just says, like he says, just be careful right now. You can't trust those kinds of people. So anyway, looking forward to some amazing guests. You guys are coming on. I keep begging everyone. Let me know. We want you on the show. Share your experiences here. This is what this channel is all about. It's not about me. It's not about Eeka. We just happen to be the background people that are running the channel. And upstairs is running this channel, which is why we're, still here, because they're protecting us. So to the best of our ability, and their ability. But we want to have you guys on here because this is your channel, right? We're not gatekeeping. We're not a clique. We're not here to make money. We're not here to, have a celebrity, anything like that. We're here just to open up a space for you to come forward. That's what the guys upstairs wanted. They begged me to do this, so here I am doing it. I'm actually glad now. See, like I am glad. I'm glad because I got to meet some amazing people, and I'm still meeting amazing people, and I love connecting with all of our new friends. And Eka is just thrilled. I mean, he is just like off the charts. He loves everyone for sure, and he'll be sharing some more stuff as we move forward in the new year. As I mentioned before, I'm actually just going to do a short, probably live or something, just quick, just to explain. I'm going to be offering courses on telepathy and on remote viewing in the new year here on the channel, so folks can practice that kind of thing. And like I said, my way is not the only way. For sure, there's many ways that you can do any of these things. I just did it raw through my own knowing from remembering who I was and, tapping into my real consciousness as you kind of peel away the layers of the onion of all the programming and garbage and poisoning. You find your true self, and then you learn how to just be, basically. So we'll be doing that in the new year. So I'll probably, like I said, we'll I won't say see you next year yet, because I'm sure we'll be in touch again. We got more Bigfoot people coming on, and more people you already know coming on, more of our friends, and we hope to make some new friends. Like I said, we really want to reach out to you and have y'all come on and tell your stories. So, that's pretty much it. Enjoy your evening, and we're rolling towards 2025. It's this year. I tell you, this year better be. So, I am so sick and tired of being sick and tired. This better be the year. That's all I'm going to say. All right, guys. We'll see you. Abundance and gratitude and bliss for everyone. See. see if I can get this to disappear. Me and this technology is just, oh my God. No, I don't want to show it. I want to get rid of it. Why aren't you letting me do that? All right. It's not letting me do that. Oh, well. In that case, goodbye. Good night.